The poor drive-bys, they're so confused. They're really riding the roller coaster of emotions, the seesaw of emotions. Up, down, up, down. Where are we going? When's it going to stop? Is it good? Is it bad? They just can't quite figure it out. Greetings, my friends. Great to have you here. As we head on down the tracks, Rush Limbaugh from the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. 3 hours broadcast excellence hosted by me. Telephone number, if you want to join us, is 800-282-2882. Look at what is happening in Los Angeles. Either way this goes, whatever is the case here, this is, folks, this is, if it's a hoax, look what they've pulled off. If it's real, look what that is. We've got the second largest screw district in the country shut down on the basis of a credible threat phoned into a member of the school board or some such thing. That they get threats there all the time, the guy said. Yeah, we get threats every day. Something about this one, he said, made them take action. They have shut down the entire Screwel system. There were people already at Screwel. There were people already on their way to Screwel. They had to close and shut down the buses and send them back to the parking lot. They had to clear people out of the schools that had already gotten in there. Had to get the word out that school was closed. This is going to make, going to cause all kinds of problems during the day-to-day with parents who normally send their kids to school to get rid of them. Now going to have to deal with them. It's a major thing. But the point is, however, if this is a hoax, look what's happened. A hoax has shut down. What's to prevent this from happening every day? No, seriously. They say the Kretz threatable something about backpacks. They cannot inspect every backpack. They can't inspect every Screwel. They can't inspect every boiler. They can't inspect every nook and cranny of every school or bus or what have you. Everybody obviously on edge. San Bernardino is not far from Los Angeles, obviously. San Bernardino to the east. So that's clearly on people's minds. Officials closed all L.A. Unified Screwel District campuses this morning after receiving a credible threat of violence involving backpacks and packages left at campuses. The authorities said they're going to search all of the more than 900 Screwels they have to search. More than 700,000 students are going to miss their liberal indoctrination today. They're going to miss their exposure to propaganda. You might say that's an upper, but we don't want to go there right now. I'm just giving you the facts. The LA Unified School District Superintendent Ramon Cortinas said, I think it's important to take this precaution based on what's happened recently and what has happened in the past. This is just 2 weeks after the San Bernardino massacre. 14 people were killed, many others wounded. Fearing safety of Screwels and students, Cortinas said that he could not take a chance, so he asked police to search all campuses, adult, school, and early education centers before reopening tomorrow. Officials said the threat came in electronic form and was made to numerous but unspecified campuses. As a result, they made the decision to close them all for the day. The FBI and the LAPD are assisting here with the threat investigation, said the police chief in Los Angeles, the school police chief, Steve Zipperman. So, again, they say the threat's still being analyzed. We have chosen to close our schools today until we can be sure the campuses are safe. Students who were already at school will be supervised until parents can pick them up. And get this. The school district said in a statement, parents and guardians, please bring proper ID when picking up your child at school. They will be required. Now, I understand, folks, I really do. I can't help. There's no way, and I know I grew up in a much, much smaller town, but no parents needed IDs to pick up their kids at school when I was there. You got to show your papers to get. But look, I understand it. I mean, I'm not criticizing it. I'm noting how things have changed. Parents need ID. Otherwise, anybody could show up and pick up the kid. I understand it. It's a different world. It's a different country. It's a different age. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of attention. I mentioned something yesterday. What? Oh, yeah. I'll get to the debate tonight in a little bit. What? Yes, I'm going to get to the media coverage of what happened here. Yeah, I'm going to get to all that. But as you know, I never want to make this program about me. Well, I know, but I didn't know it. You know, I got a note from my brother at midnight last night. He said, "Have you had any feedback on what you said about Trump and Cruz?" And I said, "No, not a word." I said, "But I never do get any feedback, and I never go searching for it, so I haven't seen any." But remember, I don't have cable news on at night. I mean, last night I had the football game on. And I watched a couple of their TVs. I never have cable news on it. It's not an active thing. It just evolved. I just don't turn it on anymore. I don't know why. Well, yes, I do know why. I stopped learning things on it. It's like I used to watch the Sunday shows religiously, and now everything, it's predictable. I know what each guest is going to say, and I know who's going to frustrate me, and I know both sides. I just don't subject myself to it. So the point is, I didn't know any of that was happening last night. I didn't know any of that was happening until I got the soundbite roster from Cookie 10 minutes before the program began. Then I see I am the first 11 soundbites. But anyway, what I was going to say, folks, we touched on it yesterday, and there's much more that has been learned about this. And that is the administration refusing its policy, refusing to allow social media to be used in determining potential terrorists or other criminal activity. It's specifically outlawed by the Obama administration. And we touched on it yesterday a little bit, and it blew up overnight. I mean, it's become a huge issue, and understandably so, because it's raising all kinds of questions about the Obama administration and just what the hell they are doing. And why are they making it so damn hard to identify people before they would commit acts of terror? And the example being used is the wife of the San Bernardino II. She was telegraphing everything about herself on social media. What is it I've always said about social media? Well, I've said many things about it. But one of the most prominent things I've said about it is that it is remarkable to me how everybody on social media, in the quest for fame, is willing to divulge everything about themselves they can. The lack of regard for privacy, until somebody seems interested in it, then all of a sudden they start demanding privacy. But everybody in social media, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, people there are just putting everything about themselves on these websites, these profiles, as they can, because everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants a taste of fame because the way fame is portrayed in pop culture media. Well, apparently, Saeed Farouk's wife was no different. She was telegraphing quite a lot. She was explaining quite a lot. She was showing her anger. She was expressing her desires. If they had conducted social media that she was posting about herself, they would have had a huge idea. She passed the visa examination, which was the fiancé visa, because that's all done online. That's not even done with a personal interview anymore. And there it all was. In her case, it was right there on her social media that she used. And even if somebody at the regime had gone to it and looked at it, it was inadmissible per se. It was illegal to use it. So the headlines on this story today have kind of blown up. Let me give you a sample of them here. Daily Caller, Obama officials trained to focus on behavior, not religion or ideology. Washington Examiner, White House looks to curb anti-Muslim sentiment. White House on Monday began staff-level meetings and telephone calls with religious leaders to discuss how they could help combat growing anti-Muslim sentiment in the U.S. This is suicidal. I have a poll, right? It's a Pew poll. I'm holding it in my formerly nicotine-stained fingers. Now, I don't know what your opinion of this is going to be, but to me it's kind of shocking. 8% of U.S. Muslims, 8% of U.S. Muslims think terrorism is okay. I don't think there's 8% of any other group in this country that would say that. There might be one other. But 8% to me is a too large number. It's 8% and growing. And here we are, after San Bernardino, after Fort Hood, after all these things, the regime is running around worrying about backlash against Muslims when there isn't any. And they had a meeting yesterday. This is unbelievable, to discuss how they could help combat growing anti-Muslim sentiment in the U.S. Meanwhile, the Washington Post is out with a poll today. Trump's got his biggest lead ever. They can't believe it. They are attributing it to Trump's comments on the moratorium that he suggested on Muslims being allowed to enter the country. They're stunned. They're shocked. They can't believe that Trump went up. They can't understand it, even after all the help I've tried to give them in understanding how all this is working. They still don't get it. Trump's numbers are up. I mean, it's even been misreported in one place that he's got a 38-point lead. He didn't have a 38-point lead. He's up at 41%. The closest to him is like 15. Well, it may be close to 38, but it's not. But it's massive. And they can't help but understand and report that it is because of Trump's comments on limiting the arrival of Muslim refugees. It's only a common sense reaction that the nation has engaged in many times prior to this era. Former secret U.S. policy blocks agents from looking at social media of visa applicants, former official says. This is Brian Ross at ABC. He's trying to find a Tea Party culprit. He can't, but he still looks. But that secret U.S. policy blocks agents from looking at social media. So the Republicans have proposed a bill that would require vetting immigrants' online statements. So this is blown up now, and people are noticing the lengths to which the administration has gone to make sure investigators cannot look at social media and then make judgments on what they see there in terms of uncovering potential terror threats. Now, to me, that's quasi-suicidal. You have a whole body of evidence that has just been deemed off limits because of some notion of privacy, civil liberties, or what. These people are posting it themselves. It's not that other people are finding out who they are and posting it. These people are vomiting all this stuff about themselves, and this has been the primary identifying characteristic of social media. Is notice me, notice me. These people are begging to be noticed, and we're saying, you can't use that, though. And the reasons make no common sense whatsoever. Homeland Security Chief Jay Johnson, I mean, he's leading the charge on this, making sure that none of that social media can be used. Had it been available for use, we'd have had a much better idea about the San Bernardino, too. Anyway, in process of prepping this, I have come across the actual PDF government manual on the proper use of social media. It's a 2-page PDF file. and I am holding it here in my formerly nicotine-stained fingers, and I've sent the link up to Coco at the website, so if you want to go to rushlimbaugh.com, give him a couple minutes and he'll post that link. But what this is, it's the instruction sheet that the Department of Homeland Security uses to train agents in what they are allowed to do and not do. It's only 2 pages. Sections C and F are the money sections. And Section F could have been written by the Muslim Brotherhood, could have been written by CARE. But, all this stuff about a secret policy not to look at social media is BS. It's not secret. It's right out there for everybody. It's a straightforward application of Obama's long-standing countering violent extremism strategy. What this is, it's not secret at all. It is the Department of Homeland Security's instructions on making sure there isn't backlash against Muslims and making sure that we don't unfairly target them and making sure that we don't profile. It instructs agents not to consider speech, ideology, or Islam. All agents are allowed to do is look at behavior. And if the behavior of a potential suspect does not indicate trouble, the suspect must be ignored. We can't look at what they say on social media speech. We can't look at their ideology and profile what that might mean, nor can we look at their religion. Anyway, I'm up against it on time here. Sit tight. It'll all unfold before your very eyes and ears, including debate, pre-analysis. It's all coming. Sit tight. Back with all the rest of it